A very good evening, everybody, and welcome to Jalan Besar for a very special broadcast. The Lion City Sailors, in their pursuit of excellence and taking football in the Lion City State to the next level, are enabling you to watch one of their friendly matches live on their Facebook page and on YouTube at One Play Sports. We're set fair for a fascinating clash-up between the Sailors and the Singapore Under-22 team, who've enjoyed some friendly success in recent weeks. They come off the back of victories against Albrechts by 4-2, and the Stags of Tampines Rovers by 1-0. The Sailors, in contrast, take on their first friendly assignment during the international break tonight. You're going to enjoy it live on the Lion City Sailors Facebook page. Kick-off not too far away in just under 10 minutes' time. We'll run you through the starting lineups after we've gone down pitch side to hear from the two coaches. We'll hear from Philip Au, who of course has been taking charge of the Young Lions as well in the absence of the recovering Nasri Nasir. But first, for one of the last times before the Sailors welcome Korean AFC Champions League winner Kim Do-hoon to Singapore, let's catch up with the caretaker boss of the Sailors, Robin Chitrakar.
Coach Robin, thanks for joining us. You guys about to take on the Singapore Under-22s. It's been a while since our last game. Happy that you guys get to have a bit of a run out here tonight?
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to have a good run out. I mean, there were a lot of boys who didn't get to play and get to start off, so it's an opportunity for most of them to have a game.
And a couple of our players over on the other side now, Anik and Noah Adam. Is it going to be a bit weird for them to go up against us?
Definitely it will be weird, you know. Yeah.
And
it's a good thing. I mean, they are representing the country, so it's really a good thing.
And a number of young boys in the squad today. Will they be given a chance at a run out? And obviously these are young boys that you know very well. Any one of them that you think we should keep an eye out for today?
I mean, you never know, because it's their first game after a long time before they get an opportunity to play on a big pitch. So hopefully they do well.
And what is the outcome, not the result, but what kind of outcomes are you hoping for from this match?
Today is more of match fitness for the guys who haven't been starting. So it's an opportunity to play against a good side like the National Under-22. Yes.
Coach Philip, thanks for joining us here today as you guys about to take on the Lion City Sailors in a friendly. First up, must just be great to have the squad together and all the boys from the other teams join in with you.
Yeah, I think it's very, very important to have them come on board with us. You know, the Young Lion boys have been with us for 5 months, so there's a certain style of football that we want to play in terms of defending, in terms of attacking. So it's good that they are here for 3 weeks. Of course, the Tampines boys are only with us for 1 week because they needed to prepare for the Champions League. But nonetheless, the other players are with us for 3 weeks, and it's important that they know the defensive and attacking principles of how we want to play football.
And this is the third of your friendlies. You've had 2 very positive results against Tampines and Albrechts. I know results are probably not what you're looking at, but have you been pleased with what you all have shown on the pitch?
Yes, you know, the things that we worked on and the things that we expect them to carry out in the games, especially the last game against Tampines. Yeah, the boys did well.
And do you think this being the third game, we can see an improvement again from the boys tonight?
Well, we make changes to the team because we wanted every player to get a chance to start the game, you know. It's very, very important that in these 3 weeks that we see as much players as possible, especially the boys from the clubs, because sometimes when they go back there, they may not play. Yeah, so it's important that we give them a run out and to see how much they understand. And you can only know when you play the game, because in training it is different. Yeah.
So we've heard from the two coaches. Obviously, Philip Au will be pleased with those results. And as he mentioned in that interview, the bulk of their side have been playing together with the Young Lions for quite some time. Let's check out those team lineups as the substitutes bench is there for all to see, including the likes of Pratip, Nasrul, and young Brandt as well. Here are the Lion City Sailors. Brandt Tan on the substitutes bench. Song Uyong will skip at the side. In between the sticks, it's a chance for Adib Hakim to impress. As for the Singapore Under-22 starting 11, 8 of them play their football with the Young Lions. The 3 that don't, Harith Kanadi, who's with Geylang, Philip Couchon, who is with Hougang, and Ong Yuen, who's impressed many with his appearances for Albrechts, the league leaders at the moment, who currently, of course, are 1 point in front of the Lion City Sailors. Joel Chu, formerly of Tampines, who are Champions League bound, is on the bench, as is Wayne Chu, who's appeared in goal for Geylang this season. And there are 2 Lion City Sailors on the bench as well, with Noor Adam and Anik Raushan, who's really impressed in his appearances for the Lion City Sailors, who are on a 6-game winning run when you take into account their SPL form. But it's been a good few weeks since they've taken to the pitch. Plenty of unfamiliar names and faces. They might not be unfamiliar in around about an hour and 50 minutes time from now. Tajeli Salamat in the lineup, of course. Many of the established players, the likes of Tajeli and Adam Swandi, will be looking to make statements to suggest they may have made that trip to Saudi Arabia. Don't forget the Lions in action at 2 a.m. Singapore time in their final game of World Cup qualification against Saudi Arabia. It's been a tough run for the Lions in Saudi Arabia, but let's keep getting behind them, everybody in Singapore, to make sure they know they've got our full support. They are the Singapore under-22 boys in the famous red of the Lion City State. They're now becoming famous Lion City Sailors in their home strip of white shirts and blue shorts. Our officials, I must confess, just waiting for the names to filter through of our officiating team. If you just joined the broadcast, a warm welcome. You're watching live on the Lion City Sailors Facebook page. The game's available on the One Play Sports YouTube channel as well. The Sailors in their quest to take football to the next level here in Singapore. Proud to be able to bring you this broadcast. And many thanks. I've got the names of our referees now. I think I have. Manoj, I'm being told, is the referee. And there is Robin Chitrakar, who will be in charge tonight. I'm told that Kim Do-hoon is arriving imminently. There was a story that suggested Kim Do-hoon might even be arriving today into Singapore. But we're still awaiting confirmation that he has arrived. He will, of course, have to serve quarantine, so it'll be some time yet before he gets to see his charges. I'm told he's been monitoring the squad via filming of the training sessions, and, of course, I'm sure going back on film to watch the games that have been played so far. Philip Au able to see his charges in the flesh, of course, and his dual role as the under-22 coach and, of course, the Young Lions. We wish Nasri Nasir all the best in his recovery. But Philippe, I think most people contend, has done a great job to this point. They may be without a win in the division, Young Lions, so far this season, but they've been playing some nice stuff, and some of their performances have been positive. And, of course, no wins in the SPL, but their friendly form has been flying. 4-2 win against Albrechts, 1-0 against Tampines. Jacob Mahler, who you'll see in action here today, of course, the skipper number 6, who has been picking up where he left off, really, in terms of coming back to action post-national service. And that prospect long-term of Jacob and Irfan Fandi in the heart of the defence for the national team really does get the pulse racing, certainly does mine in any event. There's Nakudin, used to seeing him, of course, in the senior ranks. Big chance for Adib to impress with Rudy out injured, and Hassan Sunny, of course, in Singapore, who hasn't made an appearance yet. I wonder whether he'll get a chance tonight, Hassan Sunny, after Iswan's first 2 games saw him concede 9 goals. And that, of course, we will find out later tonight. Jacob Mahler with that snappy haircut. The 2 Harris boys brothers there as well. The unmistakable long locks of Harris, who will be wearing the number 9 jersey today. Yeah, take note of the jersey names and numbers, because no names on the national team, of course. Some of the names and numbers are different than you might be used to seeing in the AIA Singapore Premier League. We're still awaiting full confirmation of when the AIA Singapore Premier League will be back. We hope it's sooner rather than later. Estimates range from mid-July to end July. We'll keep you up to date across social media channels when we know. It will be the Young Lions to get us underway. Glenn Quay getting the ball through early on to Danish Irfan. Of course, with this Lion City Sailors side, full of talent, no doubt about that, but not used to playing with each other. I wonder how they'll cope with a well-drilled Young Lions outfit with 8 of the starting 11 playing regularly together for the Young Lions in the Singapore Premier League. There's Tajeli, recovering well and getting it clear, looking for that long ball forward to Song Woo-yong, who's recently become a permanent resident in Singapore. 3 goals in the Singapore Premier League already this season. Throw for the Sailors from Justin Hui. Good to see Justin Hui getting a run out as well. Another one of those players that at times you feel has been in danger of kind of being lost in the hoopla of the Lion City Sailors. There's so many great players in the squad and so many top signings. Justin Hui, formerly of Hougang, of course. Just seeing him in the Orange in years gone by. Nice quick first-time pass from Amir. Jacob Marler, there's some space there, but that was well read by Haikul. And the Sailors will get the throw. If you're just joining us, a warm welcome. This first for the Lion City Sailors, the first team in Singapore to be broadcasting their games live on their social media channels. The game is live on the Lion City Sailors Facebook page and the One Play Sports YouTube channel. And don't forget to follow the Lion City Sailors across their numerous social media platforms as well, be it Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I'm told now TikTok coming to the Lion City Sailors party. The handles for all of them, Lion City Sailors FC. And don't forget as well to keep an eye out for the Lion City Sailors fan club, The Crew, which is being open for membership at regular intervals. I'm told there was a very high take-up when the last batch of memberships were put up for grabs. They were sold out within seconds. You get a T-shirt, a face mask, and a season pass for just $10. They'll be announcing, I'm told, another tranche of memberships available for that, so make sure you get involved early to avoid disappointment. Obviously disappointing tonight not to see Harris. There was talk yesterday. I was lucky enough to be here yesterday to interview Harris Harun. You'll be seeing that across social media next week. He had hoped to play some part, but still just waiting to get back to full fitness, and there's got to be a hope that he plays in some of the other upcoming friendlies. A space for Justin Hui on the right if they can find him. They found him brilliantly. Justin Hui across the edge of the 6-yard box. He's missed everybody out. Well, 3 white shirts and 2 red shirts couldn't get a touch in it. And the last person to have a swing was Ho Wai Loon and just couldn't get on the end of it. Lovely work from Haikul, and Justin Hui with a cross. Well, that's a golden opportunity. And it should be 1-0 Lion City Sailors. It's not a good look for Amirudin there. He should have done better, and Justin Hui seen to good effect down the right. Ho Wai Loon had a chance as well, so that's the early exchanges. I mentioned no Harris tonight. He was in a light piece of training with the also slightly injured Stipe Plaza. I'm told Stipe has a slight groin issue that's nothing too serious. No Diego Lopez or George Felipe, who I know is recovering from a knock as well in the squad today. But we do hope to see Harris in the Sailor shirt for the first time in action soon. I'll tell you in a minute, when this little passage of players calm down, about 2 other upcoming games that are scheduled to be broadcast live by the Lion City Sailors, as there's work to do at the back here for the young Lions. They nearly played themselves into trouble there. Harris Stewart's having to drop deep to help out. In addition to tonight, there are plans to broadcast live a friendly here against Albirex next Friday. That'll be the slightly earlier time of 7 p.m. Singapore time. And then on Saturday the 26th, Balestier will be here with a slated 5 p.m. kickoff. Of course, in current times, in current climates, all of those are subject to change. So the best thing to do is follow the Lion City Sailors across their social media channels and keep up to date with all the latest happenings in Singapore's most exciting clubbers. And it very nearly puts himself into bother. And with a goal at his mercy, Jacob Marler, who's already scored 3 goals in the 2 mid-season friendlies to this point, has somehow contrived to put it wide. Well, chances, gilt-edged chances at either end inside the first 5 minutes. Interesting that Jacob Marler is certainly taking up more of a midfield role than a centre-back role that we're used to seeing him play for the young Lions here this evening. And he certainly is impressed at this point. He's bundled off the ball there by Song Yong. And the young Lions will get the free kick, which they take quickly, and they'll play on here. They're through. On goal, chance for 1-0. Great save from Ridwan Fikri. Danger not entirely cleared yet. Well, it's certainly opening up here, folks, early on. Maybe a pre-season or mid-season friendly, pre-resumption friendly of the SPL. But business is picking up. Both teams should have scored. And the first really smart save comes from the young Lions keeper, Ridwan Fikri. I get the impression that might not be the last one he has to make, as there's a man down injured. Let's have a look at this. Spread himself wide. They should have scored, and that injury has led to Adam Swandy now looking for treatment as he holds on to that right leg. And our referee, Manoj, will allow the physio to come on. With these pre-season friendlies, obviously, substitutions will be liberally applied to a certain extent. I'm still awaiting confirmation of whether we'll have the drinks break, which I'm assuming will be in place. But as you can see, this isn't one of those Mickey Mouse friendlies where they're just tippy-tapping around. Both teams going for it here. You get the impression we're going to see lots of goalmouth action over the next couple of hours, and more reason to make sure you follow the Lion City Sailors on social media. Give them a like, a share and a follow on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and TikTok. All the handles the same, at Lion City Sailors FC. Be part of the football revolution in Singapore as the Sailors become the first club to broadcast their friendly matches live across social media. Great way for you to enjoy some football on a Friday night. The aperitif before the main course of Saudi Arabia against Singapore at 2 o'clock in the morning local time. Don't forget to join Shashi Kumar for that one on Channel 5 at 2 a.m. Come on, the Lions. Let's sign off from Saudi with something to cheer about. Meanwhile, here, the under-22s have made a bright enough start, even though they should have conceded. Well, that was one touch too many from Philip Cushon of Hougang. And he's ended up giving possession back to the Sailors inside the Singapore under-22 territory. Of course, this Singapore under-22s missing themselves some players. You heard from Philly Powell in the pre-match interview, the Tampines contingent. With Shah having, of course, already gone to national service. They're missing Shah Shahir and Anzikos, who are both on national service. And the other Tampines players have gone back to prepare for Tampines' imminent departure to Uzbekistan for the Champions League. The Stags scheduled to leave on the 16th. I'm sure even the Sailors will be wishing them, not the Sailors, will be hoping it's them that are in AFC Champions League action next season. If the season were to end now, of course, the Sailors would be in the Champions League next year. It's the top Singapore team, but coming back to that chat with Harris yesterday, I think everyone involved with the Lion City Sailors believes strongly that they can come on and make up that point differential in the remaining games of the season against Albrechts to bring the AIA Singapore Premier League title to a Singapore club for the first time in 7 years since the Warriors were champions. Jacob Marler, delicate pass over the top, only finds a white shirt, that's headed back. I think he was coming initially back from an offside position there, Adam Swandy. And I tell you what thrown me about Adam Swandy, I just want to get a close-up look at him there, because used to seeing Adam in tights, and I'm not entirely sure he's wearing tights today, as that's a free kick for the pull of the arm out from Harith Kanadi, who's impressed certainly in the early part of the season for Geylang. I think he's been suffering with fitness issues in recent weeks. His form's tailed off a little bit, but he's certainly been a bright spark for the Eagles under Coach Norelli. Justin Hui, edge of the 6-yard box, too low really, and is dealt with comfortably enough. As they get it away. Oh, that's good strength on the ball from Philip Kishon. Oh, Philip Kishon through! Oh, it's straight at the keeper. And Adam Hakim saves, and both teams really should have scored twice inside the first 10 minutes now. Both keepers tested and both keepers passed the test, but in the case of that Philip Kishon opportunity, really has to do better either side of Adam Hakim here, and it's 1-0 Singapore under-22s. Now Justin Hui, he's looked live in early. Adam Swandy playing almost centre-back. Yeah, confirmed, not wearing tights, Adam Swandy. That's unusual to see Adam not donning the tights. He was offside there. As Singapore under-22s, I think the flag's going to go up here as well. Well, assistant referee on that far side was about to put the flag up before it went out for a throw. Ryan Stewart not quite timing his run right on that occasion. Don't forget to tell us that you've given us a like and a share and a follow and a comment on Facebook. We'll be checking out the comment section throughout the course of the match to give you all a shout out. I can see Arf is on there. We've got Nabil and Joe Lamtat. Nitesh Vaswani is asking how to join the Lion City Sailors. Well, I can tell you, my friend, Nitesh, that keep your ears open for an announcement and the eyes open for the latest batch of the crew memberships, the official fan club of the Sailors, which will be coming out. That's an interesting ball over the top. And there was a foot race on there, and taking up the challenge was Kieran Arian, but just run out of it in the end. Under a bit of pressure with that distribution was Ridwan Fikri, only managing to find a white shirt, even though at least he got some distance on it. Here's Song Woo-young. Oh, that's a loose pass, and Harris Stewart's all over that, but a heavy touch from Harris and a nice delicate touch from Justin Hui. He's impressing really early, is Justin Hui. He's coming through again. Gets it out right to Kieran Arian. And now twisting, turning, Song Woo-young looks for the square pass and finds it quite brilliantly. Here's Glenn Ong, who's been a fixture of the first team. He gets the ball to Adam Swandy, and the Sailors have their first set-piece opportunity. Now, we know from history that Song Woo-young is more than capable of hitting sweet free kicks. It's a competition as to who gets to take the free kicks for the Lion City Sailors. With all the talent they've got, of course, Shardan scored some stunners. Diego Lopez can hit a set-piece. You've got Gabriel Quack, Adam Swandy and Song Woo-young. And it looks like Adam Swandy has won the argument to hit this. So Adam Swandy from 30 yards out here, central. Can he test the keeper? Swandy straight into the wall, tried to drill it, and the under-22 wall stood firm. Oh, skills to pay the bills. Maybe one touch too many in the end, though, from Swandy. Oh, there's a under-22 player, and I dread to say it's Jacob Marler who's in some discomfort on the deck. I think they're going to have to kick this ball out of play. Heart in the mouth stuff. I'm a huge fan of Jacob Marler, just back from national service. And first of all, I'm going to check it is Jacob. I think it is, yeah, the armband's there, isn't it? And he is not the kind of guy that goes down injured if it's a nonsense. Well, Poon arrives, the AFC Champions League winner with Ulsan Hyundai at the end of last year, who's now the new manager of the Lion City Sailors. He's imminently arriving in Singapore before he'll serve his quarantine and then take up his post. What a story this Lion City Sailors revolution has become as they try and take Singapore football to the next level. Well, as we have a look at what happened here, I can tell you just in live time, Jacob Marler's down, but I don't know whether he got caught on the back of his heel there, but I'm delighted to say, did he get caught on the back of his heel here? Yes, he did. That was a little bit naughty, wasn't it? You just caught a glimpse of it there on that replay. There was some studs down the back of his ankle, but fortunately, he looks like he's going to be okay. Of course, with this being a friendly, they won't be taking out any unnecessary risks, I'm sure. A reminder that over the next 2 weeks, the Lion City Sailors are proud to be bringing you more live coverage on their social media platforms of 2 more planned friendlies. Confirmation of these games will, of course, follow with these uncertain times, but the plan at the moment is to play Albirex here next Friday with a slightly earlier kickoff time of 7 p.m. and then the following Saturday on the 26th, Balestier here at 5 p.m. They get it out to this left-hand side. The Sailors are having the better of this, and that's a lovely full through ball looking for, well, it was Song Woo-young who was initially running onto it, but just didn't get the weight of the pass right, and Danish will be able to try and help the Singapore under-22s get this clear. Game's being played in a nice, open and attractive fashion here. Now, Jacob Marler looks none the worse for what was a heart-in-the-mouth moment when he went down injured a moment ago. That's a good time ball, and he's onside here, but just too much on it for the on-rushing Glenn Quay. Here's Harris Stewart. This is nice. And a lovely ball played to the right-hand side by Amir Shafiz. To the right, it's Ryan Stewart. Looks up. Plenty of red shirts arriving in the box. Can Ryan Stewart get the cross in, or can he get it back to Jacob Marler, who can hit them? Marler goes down, and that will be a free kick called on Adam Swandy. So we saw Swandy's free kick goes straight into the wall. What can the Singapore under-22s do from this kind of range? With quarter of an hour gone, you're watching live Friday night friendly football on the Lion City Sailors social media channels. If you're missing your local football, we're giving it to you now, courtesy of the Sailors. Over the next 3 weeks, we'll be broadcasting a game every week live, and this serving as a build-up as well. Make sure you get behind the Lions in Saudi Arabia tonight, live on Media Corp at 2 a.m. So who's shaping up to have a swipe at this? Amir Shaifiz is there. But he will leave it, and the cross comes in. Look at Marler! Didn't miss by much. Jacob Marler, 3 goals in the 2 friendlies already. He scored a brace in the game against Albirex, and the only goal in the 1-0 win against Tampines. And Jacob Marler thriving as he's been played in a more advanced role here for the under-22s that we're used to seeing him when he plays at centre-back for the Young Lions. And obviously, for reasons which you can understand, I think sometimes the online criticism goes way overboard and it's destructive rather than constructive. But there are reasons across Singapore football to have some cause for optimism. Irfan Fani, or league winner this season with BG Patum already. You've got Jacob Marler, who impresses. We've got on the bench today, of course, let's not forget one of the shining young stars of the Singapore Premier League, Khairul Nadim. We'll see him in action potentially later on tonight. Add to that the experienced Gabriel Quack, who's been tearing up the Singapore Premier League for the last 2 seasons. It's not all doom and gloom. Let's try and stay positive, people. Negativity's not going to get us anywhere. Here's Philippe Quichon. Space and time to operate for Ong Yuen, who's another one of those young players you can't help but be impressed with this season for Albirex Niigata. First time pass, they didn't read that right between them. It was Amir and Harith Kanadi just on different wavelengths then. Should I play it out from the back? Adam's got work to do here. Philippe Quichon was right on top of him. Adam Swandy with a header. Song Woo-young, well, they've given possession back to the under-22s, and the tackles are flying in here. Harris Stewart getting involved with Adam Swandy. Meanwhile, here's Ong Yuen looking for an option, and there was a push in the back there. That'll be a free kick. It's a correct decision from the referee. There was a push in the back over on that far side. If we could have a look at that again, it was very quick, but that's good officiating from arbiter Manoj. There was a little push here. Keep an eye out in the back play. He says no, but I'm afraid, Haikal Pasha, that's one of the disadvantages of carrying these friendlies live with match replay. You can't get away with anything. Another free kick over on the far side. It's going to be the in-swinger from Glenn Quay by the looks of things. His last free kick came to naught. Jacob Marler on that far post, always a danger. They go with the outswinger, there's pushing and shoving, and it's a drop for a great chance. The flag's up for offside, it won't count. Well, I thought that might have been a push against the under-22s and the build-up to that in any event, but encouraging signs, bearing in mind they've been under the pump, but it's clear as day that wasn't clear from that replay, but he was offside, Amir Shaifiz, and it won't count. So, the only real mystery so far is how we haven't had any goals. It's certainly been full of action. And again, great to see you. Make sure you give this broadcast a like on Facebook and leave a comment and share it with all your friends. Get them used to watching these friendly matches live on social media as under some pressure. Adib Hakim deputising with Hassan Sunny in Saudi Arabia, and Rudy not fully fit today in goal for the Sailors. Gets his chance tonight. Mohamed Shafiq is with us. Mohamed Shafiq as well. And Mohamed Shati. Great to have you with us, guys. The Soccer Khakis, one of a number of great fan groups in Singapore that do such wonderful work. Shout out to the boys at the Footy Town as well. We've got a core of real dedicated and devoted supporters here in Singapore. Javier Hernandez-Yeo as well as Justin Hui gets it through. But the under-22s managed to mop it up. Yes, Nabil Hakim, and of course I'm very conscious of religious sensitivities here, so I don't want to accuse Adam Swanley of not wearing tights when he is, and I am told he is wearing tights. That must have been a missight on my part. I'm up in the stands and the gods at Jalan Besar, so many thanks for pointing that out, and of course, goes without saying, absolutely no offence intended there. Adam Swanley, quite right. Thank you for pointing that out, guys. He's wearing his tights. And he's been in the thick of the action so far. Adam Swanley, it's been a fascinating matchup between him and Jacob Marler at the moment. That's the on-field matchup that I'm keeping a close eye on, as that long ball through is going to go all the way back to Adib. He's going to have some company in a minute, and Adib ends up just belting it out for a throw in the face of the onrushing Glenn Quay. An attractive game, this. Still 0-0. Can you name the winner? That's what you could do on the comment section. Have a couple of goes at seeing if you can predict the final score here. You've seen 21 minutes, so you've tried to suss it out. Bearing in mind there will be some, obviously, multiple changes throughout the course of the game. Who do you think's going to win it here? As that breaks down with Harris Stewart taking a tumble. Here's Tajelli. Haven't seen much of Tajelli in the game. There's Adam Swanley and his tights. They give it away, though, and Glenn Quay in attendance with Ong Yuen. Oh, Tajelli gets it back to Adib with a crisp pass. There's space for Justin Hui now. He has impressed down this right-hand side early on for the Lion City Sailors. Looking for the quick move and go was Kieran Arian. Interesting to see young Kieran getting his chance tonight. He looks like he could be lively down the right. Great to hear the reaction, largely positive as well on social media about what you're watching here tonight. We're midway through the first half. It's still the Lion City Sailors nil, the Singapore Under-22s nil on a Friday night friendly football fest brought to you by the Lion City Sailors, who've made statements and how. Harris Harun, I was seeing him in training yesterday, not fully fit, it must be said. We are hopeful that his first appearance in a Sailor shirt will be one of the other upcoming friendlies against Albirex and Balestier that will bring you live. Harris Harun, of course, Singapore's first multi-million-pound footballer. That's a dreadfully loose pass, and Ong Yuen will be all over this. Ong Yuen needs support. Ryan Stewart's arriving. Ong Yuen, well, he's showing how much he's improved as a baller, hasn't he, since that time at Albirex this season. Really impressing, and tonight as well. Cross comes in. Amir is there. Justin Hui as well. It's going to drop to Philip Kishon. Played back to the keeper calmly by Kieran Arian, who's back scrambling with the defence as the distribution from Adib Hakim goes out for a throw. Philip Kishon, he looks lively, doesn't he, this young Hougang boy? And no-nonsense clearance by Naikudin. Jacob Marler, oh, he's lost out the skipper there. Jacob Marler, Song Young, oh, just beyond the outstretched foot of Adib Rudin. But they'll get a throw, and Marler will pick up a yellow card for that transgression. So Jacob Marler on a yellow, the first yellow of the game. Amir Rudin nearly got on the end of that, didn't he? Matthew Chua is with us. Biel Akif is impressed with what he's seeing from the Singapore Under-22s. Keep the comments coming, folks. When there's a lull in play, I'll try and give you as many mentions as I can. Obviously, something we can do in this slightly more informal setting of broadcasting friendly football as a free kick goes the way of the Lion City Sailors for the foul on Kieran Arian. They take it backwards. Going to go out for a throw on the far side. Tempo just dropping off ever so slightly. If you are with us, a couple of real gilt-edged opportunities early. Amir Rudin should have scored for the Sailors. Philip Kishon should have scored for the Young Lions. And the Young Lions, oh, I say the Young Lions, of course, that's a slip I'm going to make, I'm sure, a couple of times tonight. They are the Singapore Under-22s, I do apologise. Amir Shaifiz did put the ball in the back of the net after a scramble from a set piece, but he was correctly adjudged to be offside. Ali says not smooth sailing for the Lion City Sailors so far. Well, I'm not entirely sure, Ali. They've had a couple of good chances themselves, but as we do take that hydration break with 25 minutes gone, it's all square at 0-0, and the Young Lions, Singapore under-22s, there I go again, who come here off the back of 2 victories, which of course the Young Lions haven't managed in the SPL, but the Singapore under-22s, who are the team we're watching tonight, basically 8 Young Lions with Harith Kanadi of Geylang in the starting lineup and Ong Yuen of Albirex and Philip Keishan of Hougang, have already won 2 games. They've played 2 pre-season friendlies or mid-season friendlies, won them both, 4-2 against Albirex, where Ong Yuen got a brace and Jacob Marler got a brace, and then a 1-0 win against Champions League-bound Tampines, where Jacob Marler came up with a winner there. And no coincidence that Marler's been amongst the goals. He was a regular on the score sheet for the Young Lions last season, even though he was playing centre-back, always a threat at set pieces. But as we're seeing with Philip Powell's under-22s, he's playing in a more advanced role here with the opportunity to express himself going forward. Yeah, Shaheen Omar makes a good point about more playing time for Tajeli. It's great to see some of these sailors. Obviously, the big names not here, unfortunately, in this game. Diego Lopez, George Felipe missing, and Haris Harun still waiting for his first game in a Sailors shirt. But the likes of Tajeli, a chance to impress. Chappie Chua is with us. Belated happy birthday, Chappie, as well. It's his birthday. He's one of the big football fans in Singapore. Winston Tan's enjoying what he's seeing on Facebook as well. As we restart after a mercifully short hydration break. These water breaks turning football into a 4-quarter game sometimes. Justin Hui under real pressure. Good hustle from Amir Shafiz, but the throwing goes the way of the Sailors. Yeah, he's hustled early, isn't he? Amir Shafiz, and had a goal disallowed correctly for offside, and has been full of hustle and bustle in the middle of the park. These challenges are flying in, certainly so. There's no suggestion that either side have taken this easily. A reminder on the benches, players we will hopefully see later. The likes of Kyrie Nadim on the bench for the Young Lions. Brant Tan on the bench as that ball through, looking for Amirudin, has too much on it. Yeah, Brant Tan on the bench for the Lions City Sailors, as is Kyril and Shafiq. Just to confirm, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 substitutes named by the Lion City Sailors tonight, and 9 from the Young Lions. Just an indication of the setup here at the Lion City Sailors. As I said, I was down at training yesterday to interview Haris Harun for his first interview since coming back to play his club football in Singapore, and even with all those players who had international duty, 7 of them, and the players like Diego and George Felipe and Stipe at the moment not training full on because of slight niggles. There's a sea of top quality footballers out there as that cross comes in from Kieran Arian and is dealt with well by Ridwan Fikri. Yes, of course, the Sailors who are in Saudi Arabia with the national team: Hassan Sunny, Saifullah, Shardan, Faris Ramli, Gabriel Quack, Adli and Hafiz Noor. Nice turn from Philip Keishan. He's impressing Philip Keishan early. Adam Swandy with his tights on, tracking back. Yes, I do apologise about that tight mistake. Must be something to do with either my eyesight or the sun or the floodlight here. But he has got those tights on Adam Swandy. It's over the top, missing out Philip Keishan, Justin Hui. That's going to be a tester for Adib. And Adib just about gets away with that. It very nearly went into the path of Glenn Quay. But they try and go coast to coast. Haikal Pasha, not been too involved so far, Haikal. But he's hassling and harrying Ryan Stewart. And having passed the test under pressure at one end, the goalkeeper passes the test at the other. Ridwan Fikri just getting it clear. At half-time, we'll have a very brief half-time highlight reel for you, including, I'm sure, that disallowed goal and some of the golden opportunities that came the way of both teams in the first 10 minutes. And then do stay with us. We'll take a break for half-time and then be back for the second half here at Jalan Besar as the Lion City Sailors take coverage of their club's friendly action to the next level. Don't forget as well, worth checking out on the Lion City Sailors Facebook page. If you scroll up or down, scroll up, yeah, you scroll up, you'll be able to see news of this incredible $10 million integrated facility they're building at Matar, which will become their new training ground. Oh, here's a chance for Amir. Spreads it out wide. Glenn Quay has a look! Oh! Nearly clipped the crossbar, Glenn Quay. And the best chance in the last 10 minutes has come to the Singapore under-22s. Good hustle from Harris Stewart. Nice layout from Amir. 2 touches. Did that clip the top of the crossbar? I think it might have done. Keep an eye on this ball. Did this clip the top of the crossbar from Glenn Quay? I think it does, you know. By the way, speaking of Harris Harun, I'm sure you saw the social media posting. He's wearing a new number. He's number 15 for the Lion City Sailors, and you can now purchase those Lion City Sailors shirts at where else but Shopee. $40 for the home and away, and if you want, or home or away, I should say, that would be too cheap, wouldn't it? $40 for both. That's a lovely lead from Amir Rudin, and it very nearly produced something special. Now, not been too many callers in this game so far. In fact, I think this might be the only one we've had to this point as Justin Hui goes over to take it. Yeah, so $40 the home and away Sailor shirts. If you want the Harris Harun name set, $61 is what it will set you back. You can get information by emailing information@lcfc.sg. Justin Hui, first corner of the contest. Can the Sailors take a lead into the break in this Friday night friendly football match live on the Lion City Sailors Facebook page and One Play Sports on YouTube? Justin Hui is going to be the outswinger. There are only 4 white shirts in the area attacking this, and not too much in the way of height. And that's allowed the big figure with the unmistakable long hair of Harris Stewart to get it clear, as now Kieran Arian bundles over Philip Keishon, and referee manages straight over to see if the youngster of Hougang is okay. Just the look there, it was a bit innocuous, but Eugene Cheng is with us. Hello, Connor as well. Lisa Torres. And Yong Yi Eung, the latest people coming to our interactive Lion City Sailors Facebook party. And someone's had a comment here. Now, what's all this about? Who's saying this about the commentary? Eugene Cheng is enjoying the production, and very kind of you to say so, Eugene, my commentary. But I have to say to you, buddy, I commentate on the SPL as well, and the production team here have done an incredible job. I'll tell you about that in a minute, because obviously during COVID there's lots of restrictions. Here comes Harith Kanadi. Good vision to get it out to Ong Yuen, who manages to keep that in well. Ong Yuen now coming back inside to get it back is Harith Kanadi. Oh, Harith Kanadi, just a touch too many. And now Glenn Ong, who's had a quiet first half, Glenn Ong. He really has impressed alongside Anik Roshan, who's lining up on the bench for the Singapore Under-22s tonight in the first team for the Lion City Sailors. Yes, must just mention the production team. We've done such a good job, obviously, quite rightly, Sports Singapore and the Football Association of Singapore, with strict guidelines as to how many people we can have in this stadium to broadcast these matches, with safe distancing being the order of the day. So we're doing this with a very, very minimal crew. And that's why you might notice there are slightly fewer cameras than you're used to seeing in the AIA Singapore Premier League, but wonderful of the crew to come together under the stewardship of Lim Yi to bring you this top-class football production on a Friday night. So yes, Eugene Cheng, you've just revealed to me, Eugene, that you've not been watching the AIA Singapore Premier League. I expect you to see you watching when it comes back, hopefully later in July, after the national team have served their quarantine on return from Saudi Arabia. So Eugene, I want you to join us. You've said you like what you've heard and seen tonight. Make sure you join us when the SPL comes back. There's a free kick inside the final 10 minutes. It's taken quickly back to Swandy and then turned behind for another corner after Ho Wai Loon reacted very well with Swandy to a quickly taken free kick. Down on the deck now is Harris Stewart. Of course, the referee played on there. He let them take that free kick quickly, so they'll have to make do with a second corner of the Lion City Sailors. Thank you, Eugene. He's promised he will. Al Amin says score update 0-0. And I can see what you're missing there, Alan, because there is actually a score bug in the top left-hand corner of your screen, but it's one of those frustrating things when you're watching football live on Facebook, that the live bug and the little eye there that tells you how many people are watching obscures it. So it's 0-0, but we've had chances at either end. Mohamed Fauzi with us. John Budgie as well, the great Budgie. Of course, the doyen of Singapore goalkeeping coaches and a huge supporter of Singapore football. Great to have you listening and watching John tonight. Now, another chance, Naikudin. Oh, lovely touch and turn. Really well worked. Oh, it's got in! Well, that was wonderful work from two sailors there. Naikudin Yunos with the hustle. And have a look at how this has ended up going into the back of the net. Naikudin, lovely pullback, took a huge deflection. By rights, that should be an own goal against Jacob Marler. All the credit in the world to that lovely touch to take Philippe out from Naikudin. And, well, Amiruddin will claim that, but for my money, it wasn't going to be on target, and that's really the letter of the law with own goals. If it's a shot that wasn't going to be on target and it takes the deflection like that, it should be an OG. So I'm sure Amiruddin will claim it, and I'll do him a favour by giving it to him. I'm sure the graphic will as well, but for me, that's a Jacob Marler own goal. Let us know what you think on the Facebook page as well. Amiruddin Ashraf, his chance starting up front tonight with the likes of Gabriel Quack on international duty. Now, can the under-22s respond before half-time? Philip Kishon, who was sold a bill of goods by Naikudin Yunos in the build-up, and that smart goalkeeping coming out quick. Adib Hakim. It's good hustle from Harris Stewart. Jacob Marler looking to make amends for that OG. Amir Shafiz. Good, well picked up by Ryan Stewart. Ryan Stewart to Amir. Oh, that's nice play. Singapore under 22s are trading here, but they've matched the Lion City Sailors in this one. It's been quite even fair. And I think the general consensus, I'm just leading a comment here on Facebook from Rifki Rosley, is that you've been impressed by what you're seeing from the Singapore under-22 so far tonight. And of course, in these friendly games, results aren't the most important thing. They're playing some nice stuff. Philip Kishon, though. Oh, Philip Kishon, I think momentarily was caught in two minds. He saw Jacob Marler running through to the penalty spot and then saw maybe Adib just edging away from his 6-yard area and thought he'd have a go for goal, but nothing came of it. Here's Ho Wai Loon. Adam Swandy loses out. Now there's some space for Amir to operate. Amir manages to play it through to Glenn Quay. Still Glenn Quay needs help here. Philip Kishon, the only man in the area. Jacob Marler, nice return from Marler. Lovely build-up play, and Tajeli uses all that experience, Tajeli Salamat, to defuse the situation. And the Sailors starting to grow in confidence in this game, you fancy. Enjoying the better of the battle in the last 5 minutes. So Tajeli, who showed some smart defending there. There's a look at the youngster. Kieran Arian, who's impressed in this first 40 minutes. Justin Hui, oh, that's a loose one. That's a very loose pass. Amir, who's impressed with the young Lions this season. He's impressing tonight with the under-22s. Harris Stewart. Ong Yuen. Just the confidence Ong Yuen shows on the ball now really does demonstrate how much he's improved as a player since his stint with Albirex. Oh, nice pick-up. Marler controlled that brilliantly. Looking for the return here, Jacob Marler, and that's a very important covering tackle from Justin Hui, and I think he might have taken a knock in the process. Referee Manoj will allow the physio to come on. Don't forget at half-time there'll be a short break, of course. We won't stay on air. Well, we'll stay on air, but there'll be no talking or other than a slow highlights reel. Just reading some of the great Budgie's comments on Facebook. I'm sure John will elaborate for this himself, but being quite close to Gary Stevens, I know Budgie was instrumental in helping Hassan Sunny get to Thailand, where he played for Army under Gary Stevens, the former England international. I think I'm right in saying, and John can correct me if he wants to, that Gary was really won over by what John was saying about Hassan Sunny. Of course, Gary, which is not easy, as Iswan's finding out this season at Samat Prakan City, or last season as it was. It's very difficult in Thailand to get foreign goalkeepers to start. The great Dang Van Lam, Michael Foutsgaard, they've all been at one stage or another dropped or found out of favour, but Hassan Sunny had a real good run in that Army team. And I'm sure Gary would tell you that's the case. There's another look at the goal. I might do a voting poll to see who thinks it's an OG. Lovely work by Naikudin. That was going to swing wide for me by Amarudin, and the deflection from Marla completely scuppered any chances Ridwan Fikri had of getting to that. Even Budgie won't be able to be critical. Monique John says that my voice is so soothing. I think that's the first time anyone's ever said that to me, that my voice is soothing. I'll assume you're taking the mickey there, Monique, but many thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, this is a special, the first of many, we hope, broadcasts from the Lion City Sailors, who are taking Singapore football to the next level with their $10 million integrated training facility being built in Matar, the imminent arrival of Kim Do-hoon, the Asian Champions League winning coach with Ulsan from last season. I think he may even be landing in Singapore tonight, you know. The Sailors, they do keep that kind of information close to their chest. He'll serve his quarantine and then take up his position as the head coach of this very ambitious Singapore outfit. Tajeli driving forward from the back, and he's managed to find a man over on that left-hand side. That man is Haikal Pasha. Haikal Pasha up against Ryan Stewart, but the flag after all that had already gone up for offside, and we enter the final couple of minutes of this first half. A game at the moment that's being decided courtesy of a 36th minute, either Amarudin goal or Jacob Marler goal, depending on your point of view. Still enough seconds here if the under-22s do want to try and get it up the other end. Brendan Ang is enjoying the interactive commentary. Yeah, because as I said, Brendan, I mean, it's not something you should get used to. Obviously, the AIA Singapore Premier League, it's all business, all Justin Hui. Was he caught late there? Referee's going to go back, the bench unhappy, and Amir's going to be spoken to. Might be the second yellow card of the game, it is. Amir, who's showing plenty of hustle in midfield, was a little bit naughty there, and that's the second time Justin Hui and Amir have been in a tangle in this half. Oof, my word, he slid in there. That's not the kind of tackle you're used to seeing in mid-season friendlies. Yes, we can't really have these interactive commentaries much as we'd like to during the AIA Singapore Premier League, which was obviously, by definition, very serious. Love to see the argument raging in the chat room there about whether that was an OG or not. OG for me, Jacob Marler. But nice, these opportunities to maybe, take a step back. There's been lots, unfortunately, of negativity around local football with the disappointing performances that Singapore, unfortunately, have come up with so far in Saudi Arabia. Don't forget, one more game to come, the hardest of them all, the table toppers in that group. Saudi Arabia, 2 a.m. Singapore time, live from Saudi Arabia on Channel 5. Shasi Kumar in the commentary box for that one. Get behind the Lions. Those young men, the group of young men, though, even if you've been disappointed with the results, they've left their families and this very trying global time to fly the flag for Singapore. The results haven't gone their way, but one thing's for sure, I think positive change is afoot in Singapore football. It's not going to come overnight, and it won't come at all unless we all get together. Criticism where it's warranted, but constructive criticism, not destructive. Amir is seen a run ahead of him, and the ball is missed out by Tajeli, didn't get enough on it, and they're through and goal with a chance to equalise. Ryan Stewart right on half-time. Philip Keyshot, is this one won? Philip squares it back, will one of them take a shot? Oh, deflected it over. Not a million miles away from Glenn Quay. Just wouldn't open up for them to take the shot, and the credit goes to the Sailors' defence for scrambling back after Tajeli initially missed that. Look at the determination Tajeli shows to get back and cover. Good calm play from Ryan Stewart. Philip Keyshot, he wanted to get it onto that right foot to take the shot, and Glenn Quay's effort may well have been goalwards, but Tajeli deflected it over. for a corner kick that'll probably be the last play of the first half. So, first corner the Young Lions have had, I believe. The Sailors have had 2. On balance, I would suggest 1-1 at half-time would be a fair result. Can the Singapore under-22s, or I keep mistakenly calling the Young Lions Singapore under-22s, even though there's 8 Young Lions out there, well, they won't be getting an equaliser with a corner like that. Gathered easily by Adib Hakim. There is no 4th official here due to the limited numbers allowed inside the stadium, so I'm not entirely sure how much time added on there'll be. There might be a chance for Amir to get to this, though. It's over the head of Justin Hui. Amir is here. Jacob Marler wants it. Marler tries to get it, goes down. Not even an attempt to call for a penalty there. And our referee manages had a very good first 45 minutes. Blows for half-time here at Jalan Besar. Do stay with us in a very short while. We'll be back with the best of the action from the first 45, live on the Lion City Sailors Facebook page at the break in this mid-season friendly. It's the Lion City Sailors 1, the Singapore under-22s 0. Welcome back live to Jalan Besar. Thanks for staying with us. Half-time here in the Lion City Stadium. At the break, it's the Lion City Sailors. A Jacob Marler OG after Amiruddin's wayward shot was deflected off the under-22 skipper past Ridwan Fikri, gives the Sailors the advantage, but it's been quite an even contest. Let's have a look back at the best of the action for the first 45 minutes. Early chances at either end, and this one, how it didn't go in the back of it, I don't know. Great work coming up from the back by Justin Hui. Wonderful ball. Nightmare for every goalkeeper that across the edge of the 6-yard box. Amiruddin couldn't get there, and Ho Wai Loon had also got up from the back, missed it out as well. Look at that. That went past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. Couldn't get a touch. That was inside the first 5 minutes. Indecisive defending at the other end, very nearly presented an opportunity. Off the back of that, Tijeli getting in all kinds of trouble. Glenn Quay capitalised, and Jacob Marler, well, if that had been in a Singapore Premier League game, it would be a miss of the season contender. Jacob Marler can smile. Look at this, keeper's marooned. Great work from Glenn Quay. And he tried to take it on the volley. That's his only defence, really, Jacob. He had to take that on the volley. Up the other end, Amiruddin forcing, or Adam Swandy, I should say, I think that was, forcing a very good save from Ridwan Fikri. Both keepers tested. It was Adam Swandy, who, just to reiterate, is wearing his trademark tights. But this was an example of some of the good football the under-22s have played. Philip Keishon of Foulgang has impressed here. Great strength on the ball from Keishon, and this really opens up for him. Look at this. After Tijeli takes the wild swing, but after that driving run on the edge of the area, the shot was tame, and Adib Hakim in goal for the Sailors tonight managed to gather. But Philip Keyshawn's been one of the bright sparks here. Now this from Jacob Marler. Good delivery from the free kick. I think the flag may have been up for offside. It was. You could just see in that replay. It wouldn't have counted in any event. But nice delivery, right idea. Just got goal side of Song Ho-young as well, which isn't easy to do. Bodies flying all over the place there when that header comes down from Harris Stewart. Amir Shafiz was offside. Now, did this graze the bar? This next opportunity we're going to have a look at here. I think it did from Glenn Quaye. There's another look at the goal that wasn't for the Singapore under-22s. Have a look at this from Glenn Quaye. In real time, it didn't look like it touched the crossbar, but I think it did. Laid off by Amir. Glenn Quaye takes a touch, creates a space. That clips the crossbar, no question. But having arguably had the better of the chances in the first half hour or so, as we see this graze the crossbar once again, unfortunately for the Singapore under-22s, good work from Naikuddin Yunus that you're about to see. Sets the ball back to Amiruddin. This will be the angle that really sees it clips the crossbar. Yeah, just grazes, I think. Now, this is the goal. Nice work from Kieran Arian. Even better work by Naikuddin. Look at that. Sent Philip Keyshawn out for a taxi on Lavender Road. And the shot from Amiruddin deflected off Jacob Marler. And past Ridwan Fikri, who was very much wrong-footed. That's the goal that separates the sides. All the credit in the world to Naikuddin. Technically, does he get an assist for that, Naikuddin? I suppose he probably should, really. Look at that, lovely step over. Philip Keyshawn, been good going forward. He was caught out at the back there and have to have a lot of sympathy from Ridwan Fikri. There wasn't much he could do. There's one more bit of action from the first half. Another chance to Glenn Quaye, who's been really lively, Glenn Quaye. Missed out by Tajeli, but look how Tajeli recovers here, using all that experience. Philip Keyshawn wanted to get that on his right foot, didn't he? Wouldn't drop for him. And then that's deflected off Glenn Quaye into Tajeli and over the bar. So that's it at the break. It's the Sailors leading by a goal to nil. Very kindly, the support team of the Singapore under-22s have just sent me the percentage stats. 57% possession to the Young Lions, 43 to the Lion City Sailors, and they've had more time on the ball as well. So can the Singapore under-22s take that into the second half and get back on levelled terms? We will try and find out. Do stay with us. We'll be back for the kick-off of the second half, live on the Lion City Sailors Facebook page in the One Play Sports YouTube channel. It's Friday night friendly football at the break. Sailors leading the Singapore under-22 national team by a goal to nil. Welcome back live to Jalan Besar. Second half, moments away now. It's at times like this you realise how important the fourth official is. Because of the restriction on numbers allowed in the stadium, we haven't got a fourth official, so I shall be doing my best to decide for the substitutions as and when they come. I'll scroll down pitch side as we look at the setters. I think there's at least one change on the way. Joel Chu is coming on for the Singapore under-22s. Lion City Sailors leading 1-0 at the break, incidentally. Jacob Marler OG, 10 minutes before half-time. So I can see Joel Chu. Looking forward to seeing Joel, formerly at Tampines, has played some good football for the Young Lions this season. And of course, he's been part of this Singapore under-22 team who have won their 2 mid-season friendlies, 4-2 against Albirex and 1-0 against Tampines. At the moment, that winning run is coming to an end. The Lion City Sailors come into this off the back of 6 straight wins in the AIA Singapore Premier League, albeit this is a much-changed lineup. And we'll monitor those changes as and when they come, but of course with no fourth official. I can see Philip Kishon is down in the dugout with ice, so I'm assuming Joel Chu has come on for Philip. I will check if that's the only change. Let's have a look as the Sailors get in a huddle. They're taking this very seriously. The official, our referee, man, just did a good first half. And a shout out to the one and only Yakety Yak Gabriel Quack, the Quackster. Gabriel Quack is watching this in his hotel room in Saudi Arabia as he prepares to take to the field for the Lions tonight. We wish him and all of the Singapore national team the very best in what's a very big ask against the Saudis tonight. But those group of young men, and in the case of Baihaki, of course, older men, who've travelled across the continent really in these trying times, are going to have to suffer quarantine when they come back as well. We give them our best wishes. Remember, the criticism has to be constructive, not destructive. Football is going in the right direction in Singapore, but only if we all work together to be positive. And I think that's a message as well that you'll hear from Haris Haroon next week when I was lucky enough to catch up with the national team captain. That first interview from Haris since he came back to Singapore will be available on social media channels from Monday. Ho Wai Loon hacks it clear. Joel Chu is on for Philip Kishon. Wearing number 4. Adam Swandy tracking back well. Back with Adib Hakim, who had a nervy moment early when he prevented, well, he didn't prevent, he presented Jacob Marler with a chance that he missed, but other than that, made a good stop and claimed a couple of good balls out the air as the Sailors will get a free kick. There were 2 yellow cards in that first half as well. Jacob Marler and Amish Shafiz both in the book. Over the top it goes. Looking for Kairin Nadim, who's also on. So Kairin Nadim, the young 17-year-old hot shot from the Young Lions, is on the pitch as well. On the paper, you'd have to say he might be a stronger under-22s in the second half, and they've leveled it up. It's taken them less than 90 seconds in the second half. And it's the man that's been on the pitch for less than 90 seconds. The Young Lions hot shot, Kairin Nadim, squares things up, and with their first attacking foray in the second half, the under-22s make it the Sailors 1, Singapore National under-22s 1. And it was another sub as well. Faizan Zulkifli's also on, so wholesale changes. Lovely square ball, that really good vision from Ryan Stewart. And that is a great sign of encouragement for the future, because this goal from Kairin Nadim, it might not look spectacular at first glance inside the 6-yard box, but that's the kind of goal that's scored by an instinctive goal scorer. And when you come in at half-time, I know it's only a friendly with your team trailing, and you get the equaliser less than 2 minutes into the second half. That's the sign of a baller. Kairin Nadim makes it Sailors 1, under-22s 1. Yeah, so I'll do my best to keep you up to speed with these substitutes. It's very difficult to keep track with no fourth official and no official records here, but 3 big changes for the under-22s. Kairin Nadim is on. Faizan Zulkifli of Hougang is on. And Faizan Zulkifli is one of those players that really has been key to Hougang's resurgence this season. And Kairin Nadim is on. And the under-22s look a different proposition now. The Sailors are in a ball game. They've got a chance themselves. No, Song Yong deflected, spilled by the goalkeeper. Now, who's that between the sticks? Is that Wayne Chu that's come on? at half-time it is, and I'm very grateful to my producer Lim Yi, who's been very thorough and has gone downstairs while maintaining social distancing to give me the changes. I'll be giving them to you in a minute, but that is Wayne Chu in between the sticks. So Wayne Chu of Geylang is on, and of course the arrival of Wayne Chu means there's more and Farhan Zulkifli non-young Lions players in the lineup today, and the under-22s have come out firing here. Pull back, Khairi Nadim again! Oh, fine save! Fine save from Adim Hakim, and Khairi Nadim, he means business here tonight. Could have had 2 goals in 4 minutes. This is a smart save. Khairi Nadim, the 1-2. With Ong Yuen, and it maybe was a bit more spectacular on the replay than it actually was, but it was still a fine save. Young Lions with their second corner of the game. Keeper comes. Adib gets something on it, not a huge amount. Song Yong is a loose touch, and it's deflected off Justin Hui for another corner. Yes, let me just confirm those changes to you. I believe they're going to be sent to me shortly. Wayne Chu is on. Let's get this corner out the way first before we concern ourselves with the substitutions, because the Sailors are under siege here. There's water on the starboard bow for the Sailors. They need to survive another foray from the under-22s. Marla's up there. Marla could get to this. Tajeli over to cover well. And belted clear. Anywhere will do at the minute as the under-22s have up to the gear. They come out the dressing rooms very lively. So yes, Joel Chu, confirmation, replaced Philip Kishon. It's Wayne Chu, so a pair of Chus on for the under-22s. Reza Reki is on. Danish Irfan, the Young Lions captain, takes a seat. So Reza Reki is on, and Farhan Zulkifli, who replaces Glenn Quay. So let me get my pen and eraser out here, as that's behind for a goal kick. That will give me a chance to catch up with this. I don't think, and again you might spot them watching on Facebook, with no fourth official it's very tricky, that the Sailors have made any changes so far. Obviously not blessed with that much strength and depth with all the players who are on international duty, and injuries or minor niggles to Diego Lopez, George Felipe, Harris Herron of course. So that's where we're at with the 4 changes made at half-time by the under-22s, and at the moment the changes have very much had the desired effect. That's a loose pass, easily picked up by the under-22s. Yes, obviously the other slightly strange occurrence, and this is a personal point of view, not endorsed by the Lion City Sailors, it's my own personal view, is, oh, that's great hustle, wonderful work, brilliant hustle, Reza Reki, just the finish was lacking from Farhan Zulkifli. Of course, we say it's mid-season, and at this time of day we're very grateful to be able to bring you this football as Ryan Stewart picks up a loose pass. The Sailors have gone to sleep a little bit here. Joel Chu, it's opened up for Joel Chu, he should have scored. Gathered in by Adib, but the under-22s are on fire through the first 12 minutes of the second half. No one wanted to go near Joel Chu. Nice no-look pass from Ryan Stewart. Joel Chu, after you. Tajeli thought his teammate Naikudin was going to come. Naikudin thought Tajeli was going to come, and as a consequence, Joel Chu just went straight through him. Adib, he's going to be under pressure from Khairi here. Yes, here's a personal point of view about tonight as well. Obviously, Turkey and Italy start the Euros tonight at 3 AM. Anyone that doesn't watch the Young Lions tonight and decides to watch Italy and Turkey, well, no sympathy with you. There's no excuse. I think 3 AM anyway. You can watch the second half if you must of Turkey, Italy, but any Singaporean football fan, it's your duty. There's a handball there, and the assistant referee spotted it against Ho Wai Loon. Yeah, you need to be watching Singapore take on Saudi Arabia. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be tough. But those boys out there deserve our support. Get behind them, and if you must watch the Euros, watch it after Singapore have played Saudi Arabia live on Channel 5. Shashi Kumar in the commentary box for that one. Meanwhile, the under-22s who trailed at the break through a Jacob Marler own goal, levelled it up through Kyrie Nadim, the half-time substitute, and Joel Chu's looked lively as well, and Joel Chu has found Ryan Stewart. Ryan Stewart, great cross, Marler, was it handball, Marler? Well, Jacob Marler got an own goal at that end in the first half, and he scored at the right end in the second, and it is no more than the Singapore under-22 national team deserve. They've been much the best through the first 9 minutes of the second stanza. The Sailors are all at sea. They need to make some changes here. Philippines under-22s lead the Sailors by 2-1. Half a question of a potential handball against Sung Woo-young there, but Jacob Marler didn't take the first bite of the cherry, but go to a dictionary and look up the definition of emphatic finish, and you'll see Jacob Marler smashing that one into the roof of the net. Sailors 1, Singapore under-22s 2. Well, there's me beseeching you to watch the Singapore national team tonight. I told you already, Gabriel Quack, and I'm sure some others are watching this in the hotel room as they prepare to leave for the stadium shortly. A nice chance for them to see some of their teammates and some of the young national players in action here. Let's hope they're getting some inspiration from this. And for all those doom and gloom merchants, there's no question. Let's not try and launch propaganda here. There are issues that have to be dealt with in Singapore football, but there's positivity as well, and we've got to have more of the positivity and less of the negativity. Here's one of those positivities, Joel Chu, that no-look pass very nearly found Farhan Zulkifli. The under-22s are on fire. To Jelly's header. Back to Ryan Stewart, who's playing in the second half like a different player to the one we saw in the first 45. Reza Reki, he's had an influence as well, but the flag's up over on that far side. Farhan Zulkifli is offside. Well, Philip Howe will be delighted with the first 10 minutes of the second stanza. They've turned this game on its head, and I can see that the Sailors have one substitute warming up, so one assumes a change might be coming. Ten minutes, and what a 10 minutes been in this second half. Kyrie Nadim with an instinctive finish, 1-1. Kyrie Nadim's effort tipped over the bar by Adib, still 1-1. And then Jacob Marler from a set piece with a thunderous finish. He's now scored for both teams at the same end in one game. Reza Reki thinks about taking this quickly. Options on the bench for the Lion City Sailors today. Again, some of these names won't be familiar to the casual fans as we sing on UN. Oh, look at that. Ryan Stewart ended up falling himself. Comes to Reza Reki. Reza Reki! Couldn't get hold of it. It's behind for a goal kick. Yeah, on the bench for the Sailors tonight is Aizul Muhamdani, Brant Tan, Khairul Hairi, the National, and two goalkeepers in Pratip and Sobti. And Glenn Ong, of course, started in this. Glenn Ong maybe feels unfortunate not to be involved with the under-22s. He's out there at the moment wearing number 45 in the middle of the park for the Sailors. It's middle of the park, actually, where they've kind of been bullied out of it in the second half. A surprise when you consider the likes of Adam Swandy and Sung Woo-young are there. Oh, nice footwork. Lovely stuff, this. Time by Farhan Zulkifli. Was that a foul along UN? He goes down, no whistle. Joel Chu. Well, he might be quite slightly built, Joel Chu, but he is a special footballer. Be fascinating to see how his physical progress. Is over the next 12 months. Oh, he's going to get to this, Harris Stewart. And Harris Stewart's going to get it to Farhan Zulkifli, who's offside. That's one criticism, I think, of the under-22s. Maybe caught offside one time more than they would have liked to so far tonight. A reminder, you are watching this broadcast as we get another look at that offside decision. Wasn't much in it, was there? Just offside. I think the assistant referee's got it spot on. This is the plans from the Lion City Sailors. They're trying to take football in Singapore to the next level. We need to get behind them. Don't forget to follow their social media channels on Twitter, Facebook, Insta and TikTok. I'm told TikTok's big with the young kids. I don't know much about it myself. The tagline for all of those social media handles is @Lion City Sailors FC. We're bringing you this game live tonight. Next Friday, slightly earlier kickoff time, I'm told. The plan is for a game against Albirex here. That'll be interesting. And then the following Saturday, the 26th, it will be Balestier here with a 5 p.m. kickoff. Well, that was a very good recovery tackle from Ho Wai Loon. Change on the way. I can see downstairs there's about to be a change for the Lion City Sailors. Robin Chitrakar going to shuffle his pack with half an hour to go as we come up to already nearly 15 minutes played. And this will be some run for the Singapore Under-22s. People look at the Young Lions results this season, not won a game yet. And of course the bulk of this team, there's a few exceptions, Harith Kanadi, obviously Philip Kishan, who's now gone, and Farhan Zulkifli, they play for other clubs on UN, obviously with Albirex. But the vast majority of this team are Young Lions, and if they win, they go on and win this game, they'll be on a 3-game mid-season friendly run of victories. 4-2 against Albirex already, 1-0 against Tampines, who go to the Champions League with everyone's best wishes. And just like I said about watching the Lions tonight from Saudi Arabia and not prioritising the Euros, it's important as well, even if you're not a fan of Tampines Rovers, get behind the Stags in Uzbekistan. Tough group for them. Jeonbuk, Korean champions. Gamba Osaka, strong team from Japan, who've had a slow start to the season in J1. And the news obviously coming through that Chiang Rai will replace Sydney. Now, Chiang Rai of Thailand, an interesting team, didn't have the best team or the best season in the league in Thailand, but they're a very tough nut to crack. 1-0 Merchants, Chiang Rai United. Here come the under-22s again against the Sailors, trying to go through the middle. This time, Ho Wai Loon and Justin Hui alive to it. Adam Swandy looks up. Adam Swandy's a mile offside here, and he knows it. Amirudin. Change is on the way. Sailors change is going to come, and it will be Aizul Muhaddani that comes on, so Aizul will be on. There's no fourth official, so like me, you'll learn this by the player that trots over to the touchline. And is that Aizul replacing Adam Swandy, who's taken his boots off the other side of the pitch. So Aizul on for Adam Swandy, whose night is done. Another chance to see a player you might not be familiar with from Singapore Premier League games this season, so we'll keep an eye on Aizul's performance. Another 5 substitutes are currently warming up behind the goal, but their team are under siege at the moment. Look at the run from Kyrene Adam in the middle if they can find him. Pass, just couldn't pick him up. Still comes to Ong Yuen though. And Aizul's first contribution, well, he's not got much help from his teammates. The Singapore Under-22s has just been a yard sharper in this second half. When you want encouraging signs for the future of Singapore football, folks, you're getting it here. Philippines Under-22s have really impressed in this second stanza. They've not got the game won yet, though. Ryan Stewart's covering some grass as well in this second half. John Budgie, the great Budgie's comparing Joel Chu. He says he's the Singapore Iniesta. Here is Singapore's Iniesta, Joel Chu. And look at the space all of a sudden for Ong Yuen. Ong Yuen, Kyrene Adam waits in the middle. The ball is almost to Kyrene Adam. Might still come out wide to Reza Reki. And anywhere will do for Justin Hui. The Sailors are just trying to stay within touching distance here. If they can get another goal, the Under-22s, this game might be done. Change now for the Under-22s, and it's Ryan Stewart who's been running very hard. Maybe he knew he was coming off, that's why he really left it all out on the park. He's replaced by Noor Adam, so here we have the curious case of a sailor playing against his own seaman. Noor Adam, who is on the books of the Sailors. Well, hold on a second, I thought he was replacing Ryan Stewart. Ryan Stewart's still on the pitch, so let me try and work this out. 4, 7, 8, 9. I'm trying to count the shirts now. There's 10 out there. Apologies. Ryan Stewart is still out there, as is. Well, is Harris Stewart out there? I can't see Harris. Yes, there he is, with that unmistakable long mop of hair. And Noor Adam is on. Now, Song Woo-Yong. A couple of you asking on the comments and the Twitter and the tweets what's happening with the Singapore Premier League. Well, of course, in these uncertain times, nothing's guaranteed. I think they'll have to work out what's happening with quarantines. Tampines in the Champions League, of course. Geylang and Lion City Sailors AFC Cup games that were scheduled for the end of this month already postponed, with Singapore unable to put itself in a position to host with all the uncertainty going around. So It's a watching brief. Let's hope we get it back sometime in July. Great to see so many of you missing the AIA Singapore Premier League. Song Yong cuts inside. He's got a runner over on that far side if he can find him. And that runner is Kieran Arian, who's just going to get to this. Kieran Arian up against Noor Adam, his teammate. Not tonight, though. Justin Hui, time to find a cross. There's sailors queuing up in the middle. It's just over all of them. Flag does stay down, though. They can play on here. High call. Amarudin, is he onside? Well, he was. The flag stays down. And Song Yong couldn't stab it home. And up the other end, huge clearance by Wayne Chu looking for Kieran Nadim. And Kieran Nadim, well, he really put the pressure on Naikudin there, and Naikudin dealt with it well. Have a look at this. How's the flag stayed down, by the way? Amarudin over the head of Aizul, and Song Yong off his knee. I think he thought he must have been offside. Under 22s, that pass too much on it. Adam will gather. And just like that, folks, we've played 20 minutes of the second half, and if you were late to the start of the second stanza, you missed all the action because 2 goals in the first 6 minutes of the second half. The first by Kieran Nadim, the substitute, the second by the skipper Jacob Marler, have turned this game 180 degrees. Back by Huai Loon to Jelly, trying to find a long pass there, looking for Kieran Arian, and he's found his target as well, and he's got the overlapping runner of Justin Hui, but couldn't find him. And they've kept this ball in. Look at this from the under-22s. 4 against 3 momentarily here. Joel Chu in support. Kieran Nadim waits in the middle. He's got it behind Joe Chu. Nearly came to Kieran Nadim. And Tajeli plays out and wins a free kick in the process. At full time, we'll be closing this broadcast, but full match highlights will be available across the Lion City Sailors social media channels later tonight, so make sure you catch up with those. Here's some nice work from Haikal Pasha. Still Haikal. Oh, Reza Reki's got his arms all over him there. Don't forget as well to check out on the social media the new $10 million integrated facility of the Sailors. There's a great report on their social media about that marvellous facility at Mata Road. The team currently train here at Jalan Besar, but it'll be Mata Road when that is finished in a year's time. Just being told by my producer, just to be on the safe side, maybe wait till tomorrow for the highlights. Nice touch, good experience shown by Tajeli there. And also don't forget, if you are liking what you see and this is the first time you've watched the Lion City Sailors, to join the crew, the exclusive Lion City Sailors fan club. They release selected batches of membership at undesignated times. The first batch sold out within seconds. I'm reliably informed by the great Ravi that the second batch of memberships will be available soon, but book early to avoid disappointment. Get your Lion City Sailors t-shirt, face mask and season pass, all for just $10. Keep an eye on their social media channels for news of that. Great to see the Sailors putting these games on live as well for those of us starved of local football over the last month or so. Well, Huai Loon got that through. They want the free kick and they're going to get it. Pinged for the foul there was Syed Akmal. Is another change into the fray. So Syed Akmal also on. He had his hands all over Amarudin. Need to find something here to the Sailors. They've got another change imminently on the way by the looks of things. And I can tell you who it is that's about to come on as well. Glenn Ong, who is impressed in the Singapore Premier League this season, having given his opportunity alongside Anik Roshan. Glenn Ong is coming on, and he's going to replace... Who is he going to replace? He's going to replace Kieran Arian? No. Well, that's slightly confusing because Glenn Ong wasn't initially... Oh, well, Glenn Ong has come off, and that change I will confirm for you in a minute. Do bear with me. Was it Brant Tan? I'll check that out for you in a minute. Number 47, the shot comes in from Tajeli well over the bar. Yes, it was either Brant Tan or Hyrie that's come on. I think it's Hyrie. Either way, Glenn Ong's match is done. And we are now up and over the halfway mark in this second half. Any more goals to come here? Lots of space for Harris Stewart to work with. The under-22s have bossed this game in the second stanza. Wayne Chu has not had too much to do. Song Yong did have a golden opportunity when the offside flag somehow stayed down, as Wayne Chu deals with that. Headed on very cleverly by Harris Stewart. Look at the space Joel Chu keeps getting in midfield. And that is some ball from Joel Chu. Farhan is away at the races. Farhan Zulkifli. Options arriving. Farhan. Just the angle on the move was too much to deal with, but it took a deflection. They'll get a corner. Farhan Zulkifli, who's been lighting up Hougang in recent months, is now lighting up the Singapore under-22 national team. What a pass, though, from Joel Chu. Took a deflection. Justin Hui, as it turned out, just about did enough. Ong Yuen to take the corner. Good delivery as well. No nonsense. Header away from the danger area. Does the trick by Amarudin, who is out helping his defence at the back. Yep, Ryan Stewart is covered plenty of grass. There's nothing wrong with that boy's fitness levels, that's for sure. Just confirming as well these changes that are happening in a haphazard way with no fourth official. Glenn Ong was replaced indeed by Hyrie, so Hyrie on for Glenn Ong. Oh, that's a foul. The assistant referee's given that, not the referee. It was the assistant referee's flag that I think led to Manoj calling that, and the under-22s don't like it. Just remonstrating is Noor Adam, the sailor, complaining about being penalised for fouling his own teammate, if that makes any sense. Tajeli. It's a push in the back that time from Resurrecki. He needs to be careful, Resurrecki. I think he's going to go in the book. It's not the first transgression he's made, and I think Manoj is entitled to show that yellow. Yeah, he needs to show that, just so Resurrecki calms it down a little bit. One naughty challenge too many. Another change, is it? Yep. It looks like the under-22s are going to bring another player to the party, and it's going to be well, if it's going to be Zamani Zamri. So Zamani on, and that will be the water break as well, as Zamani's about to come on. So the hydration break, and that should give us an opportunity to see those two goals that have turned this game on its head. The two goals in the first 6 minutes of the second half. Let's have a look at them. That was the first goal in the first half. Jacob Muller's deflection off of an Amarudin shot after Gilbert Naikudin. Lovely pullback from Ryan Stewart, and what a goal. Kyrie Nadim scoring 80 seconds after his introduction at the break. The young Singaporean scoring sensation. That was 1-1. And Jacob Marler, after more good work down the right by Ryan Stewart, absolutely smashing that ball back. And he's another player for me. I really am looking forward to seeing Jacob Marler and Irfan Fandi in years to come. I mean, Jacob Marler's proved today that he can do a job in midfield, but just the visual of Irfan and Jacob Marler in the future at centre-back for Singapore, that gives us cause for optimism for the future. Yeah, so again, trying to keep up with these changes. Zamani is on, and again, it's a process of elimination as to who has made way, unfortunately. It's not the easiest thing in the world to keep track of with no fourth official. And again, all those people, when you see the team sheets and you say, oh, what, the fourth official just sits there. These friendly matches is an advert for why it's great to have a fourth official, certainly if you're commentating. Tajeli. Sailors need to find way back here. It was an even first half. The under-22s much the best the second. Ball played long by Hu Wai Loon. That's good hustle from Haikul. But a good recovery from Ryan Stewart, who's up there for man of the match contention for me at the moment, by the virtue of the fact he played a huge role in both the goals, and he's just covered box to box. Certainly in this second half, he has been the standout. We've had 3 goals, and the advances on the 3 we've seen. That's a firm header from Hyrie, who replaced Glenn Ong. this is a joke that will go over the heads of football fans who are tuning in on the Lion City Sailors Facebook page outside of Singapore, and I have already used it once on a Singapore Premier League commentary, and I think this will be its last outing, but it's worth repeating in this slightly more informal way of broadcasting these pre-match friendlies. Every time I see Glenn Ong on the Lion City Sailors team sheet, I keep expecting the Sailors to sign Barry Maguire from Geylang so they can have a Flying Dutchman next to him. Apologies for that joke, folks. Here is the impressive Ryan Stewart, and that's a strong, committed sliding challenge from Hyrie. Anyone outside of Singapore, of course, will be oblivious to the reference of Glenn Ong and the Flying Dutchman, the wonderful veteran DJs. Glenn Ong himself is a huge sports fan. Now, referee's over to just calm something down here. A little bit of argy-bargy. He wants a word with Resurrecki. He's got to be careful. He's already been booked, Resurrecki. It was something and nothing, but he's got involved in a tangle with Aizul. So two of the substitutes. Are they going to touch gloves like boxers and get on with it, or are they just going to not avoid eye contact? No, there's a nice touch there, nice to see. So the throw-in from the very impressive Ryan Stewart. Missed all of them out here. Oh, and Hyrie took a slight chance there, and the clearance isn't a good one. And that's a lovely ball laid off by Noor Adam. Oh, and that's a fine save again, but it's still in play here. Resurrecki will let it go out for a corner. Or is there an offside flag here? I think there's a delayed offside flag. Well, he let that go. So he's adjudged Resurrecki to be offside. Strange one. But there's some urgency creeping into the Lion City Sailors now. And I think, obviously, in these friendlies, the results aren't the be-all and end-all. But win, lose or draw, the Singapore under-22s have played some lovely stuff in the second half. All the credit in the world to Philip Out for the way they've approached his second stanza. This man got their first goal, and he's got their third! Exhibit B on tonight's evidence of why Kyrie Nadim is one of the most exciting young footballers in Singapore right now. And if the first goal showed his goal-scoring instinct, the second goal shows his punch-up for the spectacular. Just take a look at this. Farhan Zulkifli, one touch, two touch, third touch. Adim, no chance. And Singapore's national under-22 team, just hours before the senior team faced the mammoth task of taking on the giants of Asian football in Saudi Arabia, are taming the giants of Singapore football here tonight. It's Singapore's under-22s 3, the Lion City Sailors 1. They've come from behind to surely make it 3 straight wins on the spin. They've already beaten Albirex, Tampines, and now they could add the Lion City Sailors to that list. There's a change in goal for the Sailors meanwhile. Sobti is on in between the sticks. Tajeli. Resurrecki's there. They just can't get the ball out their own half at the moment. The under-22s running rampant. No free kicks, somewhat surprisingly. As Zamani hit the deck. Tajeli. Sobti with his first touch. Kyrie Nadim, remembers, now on a hat-trick. Kyrie Nadim, who has only got the 2 goals in the AIA Singapore Premier League this season. The Stewart brothers have impressed tonight, particularly Ryan. Obviously, Kyrie Nadim's going to get the headlines off the back of this, but take a bow, Ryan Stewart, for his work in the second stanza. In the first half, incidentally, his brother was influential as well, Harris. Of course, I don't anticipate we'll be playing anything really by the way of added time. Tajeli. Well, he's got no options in front of him, Tajeli. You have to say Song Eui-yong, by his own very high standards, has been largely anonymous in the second half. The only thing I can recall him being involved with was just contriving to not put away the only chance the Sailors have had in the second half. It's a loose pass. Tajeli's onto this. Now Tajeli, fed up of not being able to find a pass when he's inside his own half, now ventures into opposition territory himself, but the outcome is the same. There's just no movement ahead of him. And now, Oh, they're given a corner here. Can I have a look at the replay of that if possible? They're not happy the under-22s. There's been a corner here. I don't think he touched it, Wayne, there, did he? Assistant referee said, no, this angle might show us better. Is Wayne Chu guilty here of a needless touch? Oh, jury's out, you tell me. It's given the Sailors a lifeline, but they trail by 3-1 with 12 to play. Ho Wai Loon over to take the corner. They've not really threatened from the set pieces to this point. Ho Wai Loon missed everyone out, bounces up in the area. And a free kick goes the way of the under-22s to the foul on the increasingly impressive Ryan Stewart. Great to see so many of you still tuning in on Facebook. Great to have you. Lots of you leaving a comment as well. I can see the chairman of Tampines Rovers is watching. Maybe a little check-in to see how Joel Chew is getting on. But I can tell you, Desmond, Joel Chew has had an absolutely storming second half if you're just joining us, Des. He's really been a baller. John Budgie on the chat's been comparing him to Iniesta, saying it's a chance to maybe see Singapore's answer to Andreas Iniesta in Joel Chew. High praise indeed. But the youngster, having been given a grounding by Gavin Lee and the wonderful coaching staff at Tampines, now with Philip Bow and the Young Lions, and it's been a standout for them this season. And he's been a standout for the under-22s in the second half here tonight. A reminder, nobody, and I mean no one, should be watching the Euros tonight when you can get behind the lines in Saudi Arabia as they take on the Saudis. We've already seen Gabriel Quack watching this game live in his hotel room from Saudi Arabia before they head to the stadium, cheering his teammates on. It's our duty to get behind those young men, and in Baihaki's case, a slightly older man, who are halfway across, well, not the world, but they're certainly a long way away from home in this vast continent of Asia, flying the flag for Singapore. The results have been disappointing. I'm sure there'll be questions asked, and justifiably so at some point in the future, but for now, with those boys away from home during these tough times, get behind them. Don't watch the Euros tonight. Watch Singapore take on Saudi Arabia. And don't forget, the Lion City Sailors, their initiative now to broadcast these friendly matches live. You can catch their friendlies live over the next 3 weeks. Tonight, of course, here at Jalan Besar, it was the Singapore under-22s who were the visitors. Next Friday with a planned 7 p.m. kickoff, but do check back to confirm. It will be Albirex Niigata, the defending SPL champions, and currently leaders, who are a point clear of the Sailors in the standings. And then the following Saturday on the 26th, the plan is to take on Balestier Khalsa here. Marco Kravic's Balestier Khalsa. That's planned for a 5 p.m. kickoff. He's off the pitch, Ryan Stewart. And there's going to be another change for the final 10 minutes from the Sailors by the looks of things, and it will be Sham who's coming on. So Sham is on. Sham to come on. Lee Mun Tuk. Great to see so many new names. Lionel Lowe with us. Darren Chi is asking, why have we got friendlies now? Is the SPL over? No, Darren, it's not over. Obviously, with the international break, it was always going to be a dark spell for the AIA Singapore Premier League. Add to that the fact that the Tampines Rovers boys are heading off to the Asian Champions League, and just like watching Singapore tonight, get behind the Stags, even if you're not a Tampines supporter, when they go to Uzbekistan. And with that and the quarantine the national team have to serve when they come back, we're expecting, not official by any stretch, I wouldn't imagine there'll be any more SPL games till later in July. Here's a chance, Heikel deflected and behind. It was a crucial block from Raul Suhaimi, who's come off the bench as the Sailors push forward for what, unless they get one soon, will only be a consolation. So Darren, do keep checking back with the social media and keep up to date as when the AIA Singapore Premier League will return. And don't forget to like the Lion City Sailors on social media. It's at Lion City Sailors FC, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok, which I'm told is very popular with the kids. There's across the face of goal, he can't get the touch. Mohamed Sham on for Kieran Arian. And other than the song chants, that's the closest they've come. And it's taken one of their backline herring up at a set piece for Naikudin to come closest to getting them back in this game. They're rapidly running out of time. A game, oh my word, that was some coming together there. Raul Suhaimi. Ouch, I felt that from up here. I heard that collision. And Look at this. Oof. Well, Ho Wai-Loon is okay. It's an almighty coming together. Here's Haikal. The challenge does go behind for a corner from Zamani Zamri. Well, they're sitting back and trying to soak up some pressure now, the under-22s. When they were going forward and trying to get goals, they were simply first class in the first 10 minutes of the second half, and then that Khairi Nadim goal putting an exclamation mark on what looks like it's going to be a third straight win for Filipao Singapore under-22s, and it could get worse for the Sailors. They did just enough there through to Jelly to prevent Khairi Nadim, who's on a hat-trick, getting forward. But look at this, herring up from the back, it's Raul Zuhaimi. Raul Zuhaimi goes down, that should be a free kick. And it's a goal kick, never mind a corner. Singapore under-22s maybe a little bit hard done by there. Yes, a reminder to check back at the Lion City Sailors social media channels tomorrow to get all the full match highlights. And don't forget to join us next Friday night when Albirex Niigata will be the visitor, as the Lion City Sailors become the first club in Singapore to stream their friendly matches live on social media across Facebook and YouTube. And again, I think this is quite apt that we've got to see the next generation of Singapore's international footballers tonight, just hours before the senior team take on Saudi Arabia. We wish them all the best, and I'm sorry if you've not taken some encouragement from what you've seen in the second half from some of these young Singaporean internationals. I'm really not even going to bother arguing with you. We must ask questions and be critical where it's valid, but be positive and, more importantly, portray a positive image to the players that do sacrifice a lot to represent their country, as those boys in Saudi Arabia are doing now. Farhan Zulkifli, he's impressed in the second half. Khairi Nadim on a hat-trick. In the middle he was waiting, it didn't quite come to him. Seems a long time ago now, just after the half-hour mark, that Jacob Marler's own goal gave the Sailors the lead. That's improvised and got away by Aizul. Of course, it's worth remembering as well, there's arguably, Song Woo-Yong still on the pitch. There's not too many of these players here. So Jelly would be one who would factor into a starting 11 for the Sailors when all their internationals are back. Of course, Diego Lopez, George Felipe and the newly signed Haris Harun carrying niggles tonight, as is Stipe Plazibat. Sure, it will be advertised in advance, by the way, if Haris Harun is going to make his Sailors debut against Albirex next week, which I'm sure is cause to tune in if he does. Haris Harun's going to be available. Oh, Farhan Zulkifli nearly got there. Just doing enough was the substitute goalkeeper Sobti. It's behind for a corner. Yeah, don't forget Haris Harun back in Singapore with the Lion City Sailors. He'll be wearing number 15. So basically 16 is usually number -1. The jerseys are available, full name set at $61. You can buy the Sailors home and away jerseys at Shopee for just $40. And you can get more information by emailing information at lcsfc.sg. Well, the under-22s will be in no rush to take this. I don't think we'll be playing any added time. Although with no fourth official, your guess is as good as mine. And if they get a goal here, it really will be a second half demolition job. They've already come from 1 down at the break to lead 3-1. Keeper's in a bit of bother here. Sobti did well in the end. He just about got enough on it. Song Woo-Yong trying to play it out. If you are just joining us, don't forget the highlights available tomorrow. A brace from Khairi Nadim, a goal from Jacob Marler, cancelling out and giving the under-22s the lead after Jacob Marler's own goal. A wicked deflection off of Amarudin effort. Saw them go behind at the break. And for all that the Young Lions have struggled to win games in the AIA Singapore Premier League, this under-22 national team, by far the vast majority members of the Young Lions squad, are now going to go in consecutive matches with victories against Albirex, last season's champions, Tampines, last season's runners-up, and now the Sailors, last season's third-place team in the AIA Singapore Premier League. And what's more, with this win here, they'll have beaten teams currently 2nd and 4th in the Singapore Premier League. And there's a chance for a free kick now. Who's over this? Khairi Nadim is on a hat-trick, remember. Joel Chu to craft it, or another option to blast it. It's a bit of craft. Sobti punches clear. Reza Reki's going to pick this up, though. Reza. Well battled out of it by Haikal Pasha, but look at the strength shown by Jacob Mahler. Well, Sailors, to their credit, still playing on here. They can't get 2 goals in 2 minutes, surely. Naikudin back to Sobti. Tajeli. Tajeli. Haikal with a very ambitious pass. Well watched and dealt with by Raul Zuhaimi. Ho Wai-Loon. Haikal. Ho Wai-Loon wants this back, and he might get it back as well. Ho Wai-Loon. Amarudin waits in the middle, looking for Amarudin. Misses them all out. Chance! Oh, it's gone wide. By the narrowest of margins, Sham misses his moment to get a goal in a Lion City Sailors senior jersey. Didn't miss by much, but miss it did. And that will probably be their last effort. Maybe tried to make it look a little bit more spectacular than he should have done here. It was great work. Ho Wai-Loon, who's played the full 90 minutes, remember, hustling right to the end. And Sham just unable to finish it off. Jacob Mahler, who's been an absolute warrior, is now going to have to go off before he comes back on. And they're going to change him as well, I think, taking no chances in Jacob Mahler, who is really impressing this season like he did the last. He scored at both ends today, of course, at the same end, but a goal for both teams. And he's now scored in all 3 pre-season friendlies. Playing in midfield makes you see a different dimension to his game. He is replaced late on by Anik Roshan. So Anik Roshan only going to play seconds against his current employers in the Sailors. Noor Adam, of course, was a substitute earlier in the second half, another player that's on the books of the Lion City Sailors. Here's Song. Is there a consolation? Haikal's through here, goal side. Haikal turns, twists, and pushes it wide, having left Raul Zuhaimi on his backside. Well, they're going to lose this game, but they've had 2 golden opportunities in the last 60 seconds of the match. And when this goal kick goes skywards from Wayne Chu, it will probably be full time. Song Woo-Young, nice little delicate pass there. Haikal does really well. Twist, turns, Raul Zuhaimi on his backside. And he may have even been distracted by Raul falling over there because he skewed his shot. Now, our referee Manoj will have to decide how much time to be added on here. Remember, only a mid-season friendly, so the result not that important. And again, I think it's the manner of the second half performance from the Singapore under-22s that will be the takeaway from this. And of course, the chance to see some of the Lion City Sailors players who we don't get a chance to see week in, week out in the AIA Singapore Premier League. Raul Zuhaimi being pressured by Haikal. That's a battle that's developing. That was a pass from Syed Akmal that I don't think Raul will thank him for, but he wins the free kick as Haikal bundles him over. Yes, a quick couple of messages as we start to count down to wrapping this broadcast up. The match highlights will be available on the Lion City Sailors social media channels tomorrow. Don't forget to follow the Lion City Sailors on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube to keep up to date with all these special live broadcasts that come your way. It's at Lion City Sailors FC. Don't forget to buy those match jerseys as well. $40 home and away from Shopee. The $61 Harris Heron special with his number 15 and his name on the back is $61. More information on that can be found at information at LCSFC. And don't forget to look out for an announcement of the new fan club, The Crew. Is Farhan Zulkifli going to get them a 4th? Farhan Zulkifli squares it 4-1. And right at the death, Zamani Zamri has made it a miserable second half for the Lion City Sailors. They've been demolished by Philip Howe's Singapore under-22s. And well, of course, this is nowhere near a full-strength Lion City Sailors team. On the night when the Singapore senior side go into battle against the Saudis, the under-22s have done themselves proud in the second half here tonight. Comprehensive winners, and more importantly, it's some of the goals they scored. They've played some wonderful stuff. Farhan Zulkifli still had lots to do here. Justin Hui desperately trying to track back. Farhan keeps his composure and slides it back for Zamani Zamri to belt it home. And the Singapore under-22 side are going to score 4 second-half goals without response from the Lion City Sailors. You remember, their goal came from an own goal from Jacob Mahler. Well, I don't know where this time and run's coming from. We might get another goal. Is this going to be 4-2? Surely will be. And it is. we've had 2 goals in injury time in a game where we didn't think we'd get any injury time. And Sung Young, who's had a very, very quiet night by his standards, gives the Sailors some consolation. But I'd imagine once this game restarts, that surely will be it now. Well, drama at the death here. Sung Young, wonderful hustle with that sliding challenge to get the better of his teammate Anik Roshan. He was furious with himself, you can see. And referee Manos now blows for full time. Well, we started with a flurry but no goals, and we finished with a flurry and plenty of goals. It's Singapore's under-22 national team who've beaten the Lion City Sailors by 2-0. The Sailors taking the lead just past the half-hour mark. Amaruddin's shot deflected wickedly off Jacob Marler, giving Ridwan Fikri no chance. It was 1-0 at the break, but in the second half, the introduction of Khairi Nadim, Joel Chu and Farhan Zulkifli turned this game on its head, assisted with some wonderful work down the right by Ryan Stewart. They went 2-1 up inside the first 5 minutes of the second stanza. Khairi Nadim with a goal poacher's goal and Jacob Marler smashing home from a set piece. 2-1 to the Singapore under-22 team, and they made it 3-1 in game set match with 20 to play. Having seen him score a goal poacher's goal, we saw Khairi Nadim get a spectacular strike as he glided into the area and put his shot past the despairing arms of Adib Hakim. That was 3-1 and the game was over, but just as we ticked into added time, there were still more goals to come. Farhan Zulkifli getting goal side of Justin Hui and then squaring it selflessly to Zamani Zamri to make it 4-1. And straight from the restart, Sung Young, the captain for the night for the Lion City Sailors, got the better of his teammate at club, Anik Roshan, and put it away for a final score here of the Lion City Sailors 2, the Singapore under-22 national team 4. Join us next Friday for more friendly action on the Sailors social media channels as we schedule to take on Albirex. And don't forget to check out the match highlights from this one on the Sailors social media channels tomorrow. But for now, from all the team here, stay safe, stay well, and don't forget to not watch the Euros. Get behind the Lions tonight. Good night.